just wanted to start by thanking you, Shelley, for taking the time to chat with us on behalf of yourself and Point of Grace at the Christian Beat today about your upcoming new music.
Yes, thank you so much. We're excited. Our new record comes out the last Friday in April, so it's coming up.
It's coming up soon for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first kind of like full length project that the group has done. And is it 5 years at this point?
Yes, it's been a long time. Definitely ready for new music. Our live show I was getting bored. I was like, okay, we've got to get some new music out here.
I'm sure also in that point of time, there's been a lot of life that's happened. So I'm curious if there's been any of that you feel specifically influenced some of the songs that you put on this project.
Yeah, I think we're sort of at that time of life where our kids are growing up. Lee and I just had daughters that moved out of the house a year and a half ago to go to college. And you start to really realize how fast everything flies by. And I think with this record and like the volume 1 of this same record, Turn Your Eyes, songs we love, just a lot of familiar songs on there with new twists like hymns and stuff to hopefully just make sure that music stays alive. There's so much theologically rich music out there that, with all of the new worship music and stuff out, which we love to and have some of that on there. Mm-hmm. There are some hymns that we just don't want them to get buried, mm-hmm. And so we put songs like Turn Your Eyes on Jesus, mm-hmm. Turn Your Eyes upon Jesus, and It Is Well, things like that we hope our kids sing someday. So that was a little bit of the catalyst for the record, just preserving some of that great musical heritage.
For sure. And I when I was previewing the music, I did notice that there was kind of that combination of both kinds of places coming together for the project. So I thought that was really neat. I'm sure intentional, but also really neat how you kind of wove those both together.
Yes. We tried to do that. And we even have an original song or two on there. So we try to mix it up a little bit and not just make it all hymns,
I'm sure. And you released the title cut a couple weeks ago at this point, if not sooner. I'm losing track of time.
Yes, yeah, I
know. But I'm just curious what kind of the feedback and the reaction that you got from it, if there was anything that kind of stuck out to you as a little bit surprising or more along those lines.
So we kind of did, for the title cut, Turn Your Eyes on Jesus, sort of a morph between a lyric video and a regular music video, in that we were in the video singing, but also had the words up. And I think that song is so important for us right now. Our world has just become so much, especially with Instagram and social media, about what we can get. Shopping is so easy with I need that, I want that. It's like, the world is just, if it's possible that it's become even more materialistic and kind of, self-centered, I think that it has. And there's just never an end to that. And so I love the line in Turn Your Eyes on Jesus where it says, when you turn your eyes, you fix your eyes on Jesus, the things of the world grow strangely dim. And there has never been, I think, a better time in history than to remind people of that. Just to go, the more you fix your eyes upward and on him and his word, the less stuff you want, the more fulfilled you are just with him and his word, and the more content you are. And it's such a free feeling. And his word, for us, it's directions for living. Mm-hmm. And do we want to feel like we're doing the right thing? Do we want to feel like we're covering our bases? Do we want to live at peace? Then live within the confines of his word. And it's a lot of people think it's restrictive, and it's really the opposite of that. It's really so freeing. And Cindy Morgan wrote a little bit on that title cut, mm-hmm. That a little extra part that says, for the hope that will heal us and free us and help us to live. And we need help to live. We do. And we need guidance. And so that was really why I was like, this song is so, it's an old song, but it is so today.
Absolutely. And you've mentioned already a little bit of what your heart and your hope is for what listeners can take out of this project as a whole. And I'm not trying to have you pick one song in particular as your favorite, but I'm curious if there's, you know, a specific track or two that you're just most excited to be out.
Well, yeah, I will tell you, I mean, Turn Your Eyes is obviously one of them. Another one is the one original that we wrote with Cindy and Drew Ramsey. And it's a song called At the Table. And it was kind of inspired. We went in to write one day and everyone's like, what's on your heart? What's on your mind? It's kind of what you do, you know? And, you know, we were just all, and it still feels this way, but just how divided and how politically charged the climate is right now, and just how scared anybody is to say anything, and it's just you know, we hate that feeling. And you know, it is possible to for everyone to have a seat at the table and to love and treat everyone with respect without compromising your own belief system. Is it easy? It's not. It has to be two people who may have different views, but that can agree to disagree and love one another. And we are missing that right now. And so the song At the Table, it's just like, it's kind of hitting on lots of different angles of this culturally, politically charged climate that we're living in. But one of my favorite parts of the song, you know, it's kind of saying, come on in, we're going to squeeze you in, let's join in, you know, red and yellow, black and white, everybody, we're all friends here at the table. But I love the part particularly that addresses the line that addresses racism, I think, in a unique way, which is, or at least this is what I think about when I sing the line. It goes a whole lot deeper than you think it does. Tragic history, which in my mind is, you know, slavery in America. And I mean, there's a lot of tragic history out there, but tragic history can only be washed by the blood. And that is the only, through the blood of Jesus and his sacrifice and us coming together. And that's the only thing that can atone for all of those sins. And that's something that I think if we could all agree on, we could really learn a lot from that. You know, it's through the blood of Jesus that all of these horrible things that have happened, that's what's going to bring us back together.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I did like that one on the project too.
Good.
That'll be a fun one to have out for the group. And I know that as part of your celebration or release, you're also planning a live night of the performance, if I'm not mistaken, with a few guests as well joining you. So
we are. Here in our hometown of Nashville, we are doing a album release party on the night after the album comes out, and that Saturday night, the last Saturday night in April, here at the Analog Room, which is a really neat little small intimate music venue in Nashville at the Hutton Hotel. And we're going to be singing most of the songs off the record. Wes King makes a special appearance on our record, so he's going to be there that night, and he has not lost a note. I mean, he is still just as awesome as ever. And then our good friend who leads worship over here at Brentwood Baptist and also for Beth Moore, Travis Cottrell, is going to be singing that night, and he's just such a fan favorite. So we're excited. We always like to have boys join us because we're all girls, you know? And so we're excited about both of them coming.
Absolutely. I was curious what kind of prompted that release party for this album in particular, if it was...
Yeah, you know, we used to do them back in the day, and then people almost kind of stopped making records in a way, you know, for a while, but we love full projects. And so we wanted to do it in conjunction with our Circle of Friends fan weekend that we were having that week, that same weekend. And so, Yeah, we're just going to have those guests that are here that weekend with us, and then, you know, friends and industry people and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And I mean, your group has been around in the industry for quite a number of years at this point. It's almost 30, if I'm
you're right.
Okay, I thought it was. But I'm just curious, for being around that length of time, I'm sure there's been a lot that has changed, and just how music is made and shared and everything. But I'm curious how you think your group itself has kind of changed, or how you've kind of leaned into what's remained true throughout that whole period of time.
Yeah, it's been hard for us. You know, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to go about trying to create a music career these days. You know, it used to be very formulaic when we started. It was, you know, you get signed, you make some demos, the record company likes them or they don't. If they do, they sign you on a record deal, you make the record, there's a certain marketing plan, single goes out. Now it's anybody has access to getting great music out there. And so you sort of have to be able to cut through the noise to get your message out there, you know? And so we've kind of seen it both ways. And I don't know, I think maybe one of the ways that we've changed is just being open to learning more. You know, it's necessary now. It's probably one of the biggest marketing tools is to make sure that you post on Facebook about what you're doing and what's going on, you know, with your live shows and when you're going to be where, and on Instagram. And we finally hired somebody to help us do it, because none of us like to do that. We are just, I don't know, we're just old school and it's a time suck. And we just are like, whoa. But we try to share a little bit of our personal lives. And, you know, we only do it, each of us posts personally like once every 3 weeks. So, you know, we can do it, but we're trying, we're getting better. I think it's my sister that said, are y'all doing your social media? And I was like, no, I mean, we do it, but we send it into somebody else who posts it for us and stuff. She's like, yeah, I didn't think so, because it's really good. So
oh, that's funny. Getting called out like that.
Yeah.
You did mention though, you were looking forward to this project. One of the reasons was you get some more music to infuse into your live shows.
Yes.
Are there any of those live shows or things that you want to kind of call out that are upcoming that you're looking forward to?
Well, not necessarily one in particular. We do have, I will call this out. We have we do a biannual Circle of Friends, very intimate, small fan event here in Nashville. We host it. You can find out all about the spring one's sold out. It's coming up, but the fall one's up now. And it's just a great weekend for people to come. We get to spend a lot of time together and do different activities. And you can read about that at pointofgrace.net. But our tour is listed there on the page. And we don't have a specific, like, oh, we're going out for this amount of time to tour, except during Christmas. We're just kind of singing all over, everywhere, whenever. And so, you know, usually have at least a few shows every month. And so I would just encourage people to, you know, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and then look at our tour page on the website and see if we're coming anywhere, you know, near you soon. So
absolutely. Yeah, we'll make sure that we have that in there too.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So I know that we're getting somewhat close to time here. So I'll wrap with one more question for you. But just curious, and you could take this, you know, personally, or, you know, as the group in particular, you know, more professionally, but just what you're most expectant for in the coming months and the rest of this year.
Gosh, I think we're excited to finally be back out. You know, COVID was definitely, that was a bummer. You know, we were off the road for a very long time. And then when we finally did get the go ahead to go back out on the road, people were still afraid to come out and to be in groups and stuff. And so it's really just starting to feel normal again, just in the last few months. And so I know it's just going to get better and better. And the touring schedules of all the artists, everybody kind of went out at once. So everyone's numbers were down at first, and it's starting to kind of pace itself out now. And so we're just excited about being around people again. We're just so expectant for that. And people are ready and hungry. And That's what we're seeing. It took a year. It wasn't just like, okay, everyone can go back out and then everything was back to normal, but it's starting to feel more normal now, which is exciting for people who, for a living, sing in front of people.
I'm sure. Well, I just wanted to thank you again, Shelley, for taking the time to chat with us today about the new music.
Yes, thank you so much.